Okay, real talk. Is your browser flooded with tabs for ChatGPT, Copilot, Gemini, DeepSeek, and like 5 other AIs? You're not being indecisive. You're actually onto something. Welcome to Consphere. Today, we're cutting through the noise to answer the question everyone is secretly asking. Which AI assistant is actually for you?
Okay, so I finally did it. I asked my team to draft a project proposal using an AI assistant. The result? I got back 5 completely different drafts from 5 different people. And they were all good, but totally different in style. It hit me, we're not just using AI, we're all using different AIs. It's like we're all using different brands of power tools.
That's the perfect way to put it. The era of thinking of AI as one single monolithic thing is over. It's not just a chatbot anymore. We're in the age of the specialized AI assistant. The landscape has exploded since 2023. And as we sit here in late 2025, the choices are more nuanced and powerful than ever. Your team's experience is a microcosm of the entire market.
Exactly. So I wanted to break it down. Let's start with the big one, the name that started it all for most people, ChatGPT. It feels like the creative powerhouse, right? The one you go to when you're staring at a blank page.
That's its core strength. It's the brainstorming partner, the imaginative writer. You need a catchy slogan, 10 ideas for a blog series, or even a short story. ChatGPT is phenomenal. It handles conversational context beautifully, remembering what you said 10 prompts ago. But that creativity comes with a known caveat. It can sometimes be a little too confident. It might present a plausible-sounding fact or a fabricated statistic with utter conviction. This is the hallucination problem we've heard about for years, and while it's gotten better, it hasn't vanished.
Right. You don't use it as a search engine, you use it as a creative engine. Now, what about its main competitor in the reasoning space, Claude? I found it to be almost the opposite in temperament.
You've hit the nail on the head. If ChatGPT is the energetic, creative director, Claude is the meticulous, thoughtful editor. Its developers at Anthropic built it with a strong constitutional principle to be helpful, honest, and harmless. This makes it incredibly good at tasks requiring nuance and careful analysis. Its killer feature, especially for researchers and analysts, is its massive context window. We're talking about being able to upload and digest a 300-page technical manual or an entire company's annual report and have it summarize, cross-reference, and pull out key insights. It's less likely to invent things, but that caution can sometimes make its prose feel a bit more restrained, less flashy.
So for deep, dense analysis, Claude is a top contender. But what if your task is all about what's happening right now? That's where I've been pivoting to Google Gemini.
Absolutely. Gemini's superpower is its native integration with Google Search. It's your real-time research librarian. While ChatGPT's knowledge might be cut off at a certain date unless you're on a paid plan, and Claude also has knowledge limitations, Gemini is built to answer questions about today's news, the latest stock prices, current sports scores, or trending topics. It's pulling from the live web. The catch, of course, is that it inherits the strengths and weaknesses of the internet itself. It can surface the latest, most accurate data, but it can also sometimes reflect the biases or inaccuracies present on the web. It's a powerful tool, but the user still needs to maintain a critical eye.
Now, this is where the conversation gets really interesting for a lot of people, especially those wary of subscription fees. We have to talk about DeepSeek. It's been making huge waves this past year.
DeepSeek is arguably the disruptor in the space. Its primary value proposition is stunningly simple. It's completely free. And we're not talking about a limited, gimped version. As of October 2025, it offers robust, competitive performance across coding, writing, and reasoning, with a very generous context window and solid file upload support. It can read the text from your PDFs, Word docs, and images just like its paid competitors. For students, hobbyists, or anyone whose budget doesn't stretch to another monthly subscription, it's an absolute game changer. The trade-off? It's text-only, no voice features or true multimodal image recognition like some premium tiers of its competitors. But for pure text-based tasks, it forces the question, do you really need to pay?
It really does, and that leaves us with the one that's deeply woven into the fabric of corporate life, Microsoft Copilot.
Copilot is less a standalone chatbot and more of a productivity power-up. Its entire identity is its deep, deep integration with the Microsoft 365 suite. It can summarize the hour-long Teams meeting you just left, create a PowerPoint presentation from a bullet point list in Word, and help you analyze trends in an Excel spreadsheet by just asking it in plain English. For a company that runs on Microsoft, it's a no-brainer for workflow automation. But its utility is almost entirely conditional. If you live in Google Workspace or Apple's ecosystem, Copilot's appeal diminishes significantly. It's the most platform-dependent of the major players.
So we've got the creative one, the analytical one, the current events one, the free one, and the corporate one. That's a pretty clear set of choices. But beyond these generalists, the specialization goes even deeper, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. This is the second layer of the AI revolution. We now have expert tools that outperform the generalists in their specific domains. For writing, Grammarly and Pro Writing Aid offer style and tone suggestions that are far more advanced than what you'd get from a general AI. For developers, GitHub Copilot has become almost indispensable, suggesting whole lines of code and functions right in their editor. The stats here are incredible. A 2024 GitHub report found that developers using AI assistants completed tasks 55% faster than those who didn't. That's not a minor improvement, that's a paradigm shift in productivity.
55%. That's massive. And we're seeing similar leaps in creative fields with visual AIs like Midjourney and DALL-E.
Precisely, and the adoption is skyrocketing. A recent McKinsey Global survey, updated in mid-2025, found that over 65% of organizations are now using generative AI in at least one business function, up from barely 30% just 2 years prior. This isn't a fringe experiment anymore. It's core to business strategy, primarily in marketing, sales, and software development.
With all this power and adoption, we have to talk about the flip side. The pros are clear: efficiency, availability, idea generation, but the cons are just as significant and haven't gone away.
They haven't, and they require vigilance. Let's break down the big three cons. First, hallucinations. All large language models, to varying degrees, can invent information. This is the single biggest risk in using them for factual work. You cannot assume everything they say is true. Fact-checking remains a non-negotiable human responsibility. Second, bias. These models are trained on vast swaths of human-generated data from the internet, and they inherit all the biases, racial, gender, cultural, present in that data. They can perpetuate and even amplify stereotypes if not used carefully. And third, cost and privacy. While models like DeepSeek are challenging the cost narrative, many powerful features are locked behind subscriptions. More importantly, when you input proprietary business data or sensitive information into these systems, you are entrusting it to a third party. The privacy and data security policies of these AI companies are critical to understand before you hit enter.
So, with all these options and caveats, what's the practical takeaway for someone feeling overwhelmed? How do we actually navigate this?
The winning strategy isn't loyalty to one platform, it's orchestration. It's about building your own personal AI toolkit. Think of it as hiring a team. You might start your day by asking Google Gemini, what were the top 3 business news stories this morning related to my industry? It gives you the live intel. Then you take one of those news articles, a complex report, and you upload it to Claude and say, summarize the key arguments and identify any potential biases in the methodology. It does the deep analysis. With that insight, you go to ChatGPT and say, based on this summary, draft a 500-word blog post arguing why this trend matters for small businesses. It creates the first draft. And for all the little tasks in between, quick email drafts, debugging a snippet of code, explaining a concept, you use DeepSeek as your cost-free, always available workhorse. Finally, you run that blog post through Grammarly for a final polish.
So you're not using one AI, you're using the right AI for the right job. You're the conductor, and they are your orchestra.
Exactly. The future of work, creativity, and research isn't about humans versus machines. It's about humans with machines. The real skill now is no longer just about knowing the answer, but about knowing which intelligent tool can help you find, create, or refine that answer most effectively. The AI assistant isn't a replacement for human intelligence, it's a force multiplier for it. The key is to stop looking for a single winner and start building your own winning team.
A force multiplier. I love that. It's an exciting, if slightly complicated time to be working.
It sure is. And the best part? The toolset is only getting better and more sophisticated from here. But that actually brings us to the most important takeaway of all.
What's that?
With all this power at our fingertips, the most valuable skill isn't going to be prompting or knowing which model to use. It's going to be critical thinking. It's the ability to question the output, to spot a potential hallucination, to recognize a biased pattern, and to apply that irreplaceable human judgment to the final result. The AI gives us the rough draft of the future. Our job is to carefully, intelligently edit it.
That's a perfect way to put it. So our final advice isn't just go try these tools, it's go try them, but keep your eyes wide open. Be curious, be experimental, but always be critical. Build your toolkit, learn the strengths and weaknesses, and you'll not just keep up with the change, you'll truly thrive in it.
Absolutely. The future isn't about being replaced. It's about being augmented. And that, if you ask me, is an incredibly empowering thought.
Couldn't agree more. After all, the goal was never to outprompt the machines, it was finally to get them to do the boring parts of our jobs. Until next time, have a good one.